Welcome back to our channel, Around the World, where we delve into thought-provoking topics that shape our world. Today we'll be discussing the current financial state of America and its potential future. Join us as we explore the challenges, opportunities, and predictions for the future. Let's dive right in. America's finance state. The real estate market is behind. Businesses are cutting back on investments and employment. However, American consumers are saving the economy from going into a recession for the time being. According to preliminary figures issued by the Commerce Department on Thursday, the first quarter's gross domestic product increased at an annual pace of 1.1% after accounting for inflation. Even though it was lower than the rate of 2.6% in the final 3 months of 2022, the third consecutive quarter of increase after a fall in output in the first half of the previous year. The Federal Reserve's attempts to slow down the economy are succeeding. For the 9th straight quarter, the housing market dropped. While businesses cut back on their equipment purchases, interest rates, which have been raised frequently over the past year by policymakers to curb inflation, have a significant impact on both regions. But these declines were more than made up for by strong spending by consumers. Their spending went up at an annual rate of 3.7%, which was the fastest growth since mid-2021, when the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine helped the economy. The strong job market and rising pay have given consumers a boost, which has helped them deal with rising prices and higher borrowing costs. Spending on services like travel and restaurant meals kept going up after hitting a low point during the pandemic. Spending on things also went up after going down for 4 straight quarters. It's not clear though how long this strength can last. As the quarter went on, spending slowed down, and economists said it could slow down even more because of the news stories about cuts, bank failures, and possible recessions. Savings rates have been going up, which could mean that people are becoming more careful. Also, more Americans are falling behind on their debt payments, which can mean that they are having trouble keeping up with rising prices. Here are 4 key indicators of what's going on in the US market right now and how it could affect your money. 1. Prices are rising at the fastest rate in many Americans' lifetimes, and there's no telling when they will slow down. Price forces are back with a vengeance, and prices are going up at a rate that many Americans have never seen before. The rate of inflation broke records and showed signs of getting worse. Prices went up at a high rate for lunch meats, chicken, baby food, home furnishings, men's clothes, and new trucks. 2. The job market is booming, with hiring demand red hot. Since February 2021, the number of job openings has been at a record high. In January 2022, the number of job openings jumped to 11.3 million, showing that there was a huge demand for more workers as people returned to the economy after the lockdown, with strong desires to spend, travel, and eat out. Employers have about 1.7 job openings for every jobless worker, which is close to a record high. The economy is growing, but not for everyone. According to figures from the Department of Labor, the unemployment rate for black people is almost twice as high as it is for white people. The rate for Hispanic people is 1.1 percentage points higher. 3. As inflation soars and labor markets grow tighter, the Fed is raising interest rates, possibly by the biggest move higher since 2000. The new inflation and job market data aren't sending the Fed mixed messages. Officials think the economy is going too fast, so they are starting to cut back on the amount of help they give to the banking system. Economists and the markets both think that they will eventually start to slow growth, but that won't happen for a few rate hikes. In March, the Fed raised interest rates by a quarter point, which was the first time since 2018 that they had done so. They also stopped adding money to the economy. Officials have also planned for 6 more rate hikes and are getting ready to figure out how to start reducing the number of bonds in their huge collection. 4. Investors are anxiously watching the yield curve, but the Fed, and economy, isn't dangerously tied to it. As investors worry about the possibility of higher inflation and a more hawkish Fed, they are starting to sell short-term bonds and buying long-term ones. This causes the yields on short-term bonds to go up and the yields on long-term bonds to go down. The gap between the 2-year and 10-year Treasury yields, which makes up what is called the yield curve, is at its narrowest since February 2020. This means that the yield curve is getting closer to inverting. What to do with your finances. In today's job market, job seekers have all the power, whether they are looking for a new job or negotiating for more freedom and better pay. The Atlanta's Fed Wage Growth Tracker shows that workers who switch jobs tend to see faster pay growth than those who stay at the same job. But the most important things you need to do right away with your money are all related to higher interest rates and inflation. Experts say that diversifying your assets is the most important thing to do if you want to make more money. Historically, 2 investments that have been safe from inflation are Treasury inflation protected securities, TIPS, and real estate investment companies, REITs. You might want to avoid putting all your money into fixed income, but having a big emergency fund and a high-yield savings account is a must, no matter how high inflation goes. Pay off your high-interest credit card debt quickly because it could hurt your finances in a situation where rates are going up. If you haven't refinanced yet, you're running out of time to find the best deal as mortgage rates are rising to levels not seen since 2019. America's finance future. If future of America's finances look like it will be shaped by a number of different factors. Because of changes in technology and population, the way we handle money is changing quickly. Technology is one of the main things that drives change. AI and machine learning are changing the way the finance business works. These tools make it possible to make decisions faster, handle risks better, and provide personalized financial services. Traditional financial institutions are being challenged by fintech startups that come with new ways to meet changing customer needs. More and more people are using mobile banking, purchases without cash, and digital wallets, which is changing the way we handle our money. But technology is not the only issue. Demographics also have a big impact on how America's finances will be in the future. As the baby boomer group gets older, there is a transfer of wealth from one generation to the next. This will change how people invest and make financial decisions. The second important trend is the rise of sustainable banking. More and more environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors are affecting investment choices. Investors want their money to go to causes they care about, so green finance and socially responsible investments have grown. What does all this mean for people like you and me? Well, it will be more important than ever to know how to handle money. As the financial world gets more complicated, it will be important to know how to budget, trade, and deal with debt if you want to be financially stable. Financial education programs and initiatives will give people the tools they need to make good choices and successfully navigate the changing financial world. Also, apps and tools for personal finances will become essential. Imagine having a virtual financial assistant that tells you in real time how your finances are doing, helps you set financial goals, and gives you personalized tips on how to make the most of your savings and investments. But with all these changes, we also need to think about the problems. Security and protection of data will be very important. As we put more of our financial information on digital platforms, we will need strong cybersecurity means and strict rules to protect our personal information. Regulation will be a key part of keeping our trust in the banking system and keeping it stable. Policymakers will always have to try to find a balance between encouraging innovation and protecting customers' rights. Conclusion. As we wrap up our talk about America's current financial situation and its future, it's clear that the future holds both challenges and chances. For America's financial health in the 21st and 22nd centuries, it will be important to deal with the national debt, income inequality, and technology progress and sustainability. Don't forget that the future is unknown, and these statements are just guesses. But America can work toward a financially stable and inclusive society in the years to come by knowing the present and shaping policies. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. See you soon.